Mind you as to what happened in today's matches. Sheffield United there coming back from behind to beat West Brom in what was a huge relegation battle at Bramall Lane. Wolves got themselves a first win in 9 against the 9 men of Arsenal. The Gunners had David Luiz and Bernd Leno both sent off. Manchester United, as we've just seen, hitting Southampton for 9 for the second time under Ralph Hasenhüttl. Crystal Palace made it back-to-back wins over Newcastle at St James's Park despite falling behind to a John Joe Shelvey goal just a minute and 11 seconds in. In terms of the table, well, United, as we've mentioned already, go joint level on points with the current leaders Manchester City. On 44 points on 22 games played. Of course, City have those 2 games in hand, but the goal difference has been clearly improved. It now stands at 19 as far as Manchester United are concerned. While at the bottom, Sheffield United are giving themselves a glimmer of hope after that win earlier today against West Bromwich Albion. 10 points adrift of safety. They're now a point behind West Bromwich Albion and 3 behind Fulham. And that is now certainly starting to heat up in terms of the battle to avoid the drop from England's top flight.
It was merciless though, 4-0 at half-time. There were threats everywhere.
Yeah, I think the first half really set the tone for us. From there, when we come in at half-time, it's just about keeping the right mentality and a positive attitude, really, and going to finish the game and score more goals.
And you passed Eric Cantona on the United all-time list of goal scorers, and that's a pretty impressive list to be on. And of course, a player that has been revered by United fans through the years. Yeah,
he's obviously a top player that's done a lot for this club. So yeah, I'm pleased to go past him today, and you know, for me, I just want to score more goals and keep helping the team.
We saw the hunger of the team, but it was essential to respond, wasn't it? City are charging, Liverpool are getting back on track too.
Yeah, but we have to not look at them and we focus on ourselves. You know, we're a team that's still improving. We're not a team that's been, you know, a ready-made team for the last 2 or 3 years. I think we're just getting there now, and you know, we're still learning a lot as a group. So we have to concentrate on ourselves and just keep improving and working on ourselves.
Bud, doesn't it, Ian?
Yeah, but you say nip to the bud. It's very difficult to try and nip it in the bud. I've had my experiences with it, and the Premier League, I have to say, done very well in tracking down the perpetrator in my instance. But like I said then, and I'll say again now, something needs to be done to make it not so easy for people to be anonymous on social media. That's what it is, because I totally agree with Marcus in the fact that it doesn't seem to be getting better. It's actually getting worse in respect of people knowing that there's no accountability for what they're doing.
But I can remember years ago people saying something needs to be done. 5 years ago, then 4 years ago, then 3, and still to this day we keep hearing people say something needs to be done. Then do something. Do something, otherwise it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
But it falls on the responsibility of the platforms, of course.
It does, yeah. And you have to say, from the platform's point of view, it's like for me, for instance, with my stuff, what I'm doing, the police were asking me to get in touch with them to see if they would release like their IP, so as we can get to prosecute them, because it's a criminal offence what they're doing, and they will not give the police. They won't help the police. There's got to be something done that helps the police to be able to work with them, so as they can do it together.
Let's hope something is done, because clearly it is unacceptable on all levels. We have to, of course, talk about what happened on the pitch at Old Trafford today. Record equalling win in the Premier League era for Manchester United, 9-0 against Southampton. Marcus Rashford now overtakes Eric Cantona on the list of United goal scorers.
Yeah, what
that's
a talent.
Outstanding for him.
What a talent. Full of confidence, great ability, an outstanding individual, both on the pitch and off the pitch. And I thought his attitude and Man United's attitude this evening was fantastic. From a forwards point of view, we said at half-time, what do? You want to be ruthless, you want to be on the pitch, you want to score goals. And they did that, and every time they went forward, they looked as if they were going to score.
We spoke before the game how Southampton have got 9 first-teamers out injured at the minute, forced to play 2 academy players in the 11, including 19-year-old Alexandra Jankovic. 1 minute 22 into his first Premier League start, Ian. This was the worst possible way for it to come to an end, wasn't it?
It's really good to hear Marcus Rashford saying he doesn't believe that there was any real malice in it. It was just an over-exuberant challenge from a debutant, and it was a very dangerous one. You know what I mean? I'm sure he doesn't mean it he didn't mean it in a way to hurt him. He's gone in very, very robustly, and you have to say it's so high. It's actually it's helped him in that respect. You know, I'm not saying that this makes it any easier for Scott McTominay to have a kick near the thigh area, but the fact is it's just an overzealous challenge from somebody who's eager to do well, and in the end, you know, you just have to be pleased that no one's really hurt long term.
Ralph Hasenhüttl's expression said it all, really, but from that moment on, it was very much one-way traffic.
Yeah, for 10 or 15 minutes, Man United had to be patient, but we did say once the first one came, then it may open the floodgates, and exactly what it did, and no surprise that it came from that side with Luke Shaw in great form, full-back to full-back. Wan-Bissaka is there to stick it away well at the far post, but it was a magnificent delivery again from Luke Shaw, and it wasn't the first time in the game, and he played his part in this one also.
For Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, with Marcus Rashford, you can see he's just in oceans of space there, because by now they're chasing, they're trying to, you know what I mean, they're trying to flood the box, trying to get bodies in there, but you're getting the bodies in there, but you're not actually picking anyone up. He's got a lot of time and space, and, you know, he finishes it like you'd expect him to.
It was a night where nothing really went Southampton's way. Did this sum it up for you, Alan? Yeah,
it did sum it up, and we feared the worst when this one went in on a really tough night for Southampton in particular. Bednarek, it seemed as if everything was poor about Southampton. It sort of revolved around him, unfortunately. So yeah, really tough night for them. But again, I mean, what a ball that is in from Luke Shaw onto the money for Cavani, and he sticks it away really well with a header.
Makes amends, of course, because he was disappointed. I had a couple of decent chances against Arsenal last time round, back on the score sheet.
Yeah.
But then United, of course, just went from strength to strength. That was a decent finish from the angle from Martial.
Yeah, and what you're seeing now is the quality, you know, the Bruno Fernandez's and everybody, and then you get in there, shows good strength there to hold him off, good touch, and then he roofs it, you know. But like we're talking about real ruthless mode now they're in. They're really putting them to the sword now.
And you have to do that. You have to do this as a professional, and you've got to say well done to the Man United players, because that is their job.
Yeah.
Just go out and score as many goals as possible and try and entertain their fans all around the world who are watching, and they've certainly done that this evening. They were brilliant. They moved the ball with pace and just created chance after chance.
That was 6. 3 more goals still to come, but there was also time for another red card for Southampton youngster. What about this one, Ian?
This one feels a bit harsh, you know, because I genuinely think he's trying to get out the way. I think Anthony Martial, for me, Al, I think he's dived. I think his touch is poor here, should be finishing that first time. It's a poor touch, and he's on his way down. I don't think that Bednarek does too much here. You see him actually tries to stop there. And I think that Anthony Martial is literally already on the way down. I thought that was very, very harsh on him. And look, again, Mike Dean, he's a referee. I wouldn't like to play under him. I'd be in trouble with him, because for him to look at that and still say that is a sending off is, for me, it's just, I'm bewildered by that.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's a dive. I think the referee gets it completely wrong. I think the VAR was a farce there, because it's taken far too long.
Yeah.
And we have to remember why VAR was brought in. It was brought in to clear up the blatantly obvious. Now, if a referee can't make his mind up on the pitch, then he goes over to the VAR monitor, then he still can't make his mind up, which he didn't, or he couldn't, because it was taking so long. And then for him to get to that decision, I think, is plain just wrong. And I do think that he's on his way down early, and I think that simulation by Martial, it's a dive.
Do you think the fact that David Luiz's incident earlier today for Arsenal might have had a bearing on that incident?
I'd like to hope not, because you don't want.
But if you want consistency across the board, then if it's red card for one, then
I feel like, yeah, you don't know. You don't know if is there a message gone out that, well, he went off for that earlier on today, so this is similar, so do the same. I think that with David Luiz's as well, it's unintentional. He's clipped him, but the law says that, you know, he's not made a challenge. He stopped a goal-scoring opportunity. But then I didn't realise that you could still get sent off for that now. I thought that changed.
I think they're slightly different, because in that game you've got to look at the forwards' point of view, he's clear through on goal. He's about to put the ball into the back of the net. It's a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and someone brings him down. Now, whether that's an accident or not, he clearly brings him down. Therefore, under the law, that is the correct decision. This one on there, Martial's on his way down already before there's even contact. So that's why I think it's totally different.
OK. Time for 8-0. Anthony Martial with his second, Ian.
Yeah, well, you know, now it's just a case of like they're queuing up. You can see the amount of players in the box now. So it's a super ball in from Wan-Bissaka. And, you know, it's when I've been on the end of a 9-0 and you're trying your best. But even there, you see, he gets a bit of luck because it comes off the defender and it misses his defender who would have cleared it. And he just gets to blast it in.
When you're going to have that much possession in a game, you want the quality to come from the wide areas and balls into the box. And Man United were brilliant at that. Whether that was Wan-Bissaka, whether that was Shaw, who we've spoken about, the balls into the box and the finishing tonight from Man United was superb.
You spoke about being on the end of a 9-0. I mean, obviously that happened only once to you. What will Ralph Hasenhüttl be thinking after that, having done it twice?
Well, the good thing is, if it is a good thing, is that he knows how to pick a team up from that kind of result. So that's what he has got, what a lot of managers probably won't have. So he'll know how to get the guys going again. But they are in a bad moment at the moment, Southampton, with the injuries, with the youngsters. And they was really on the end of a real ruthless and professional Man United today. But you have to say, if there's a manager that's going to be able to get them through it again, like we've seen Southampton come through it and do very well, it's probably going to be Ralph. Okay.